Hi, everyone. Sita here. If anyone could just give me a yes or a thumbs up in the chat that you hear me well. Can anybody do that for me? Thumbs up, yes, in the chat. Great. Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Awesome. Um, so welcome. John and I are going to tag team this a little bit. As you know, we had twins 16 months ago now at this point. They're actually both sleeping, which is amazing, but we still have it set up to tag team. So I'm going to start, then he's going to pop in and do a lot of the teaching, and then I will come back, and then he will come back, etc. Our goal with these trainings is to always keep it to about an hour. I almost don't ever remember that happening. They always tend to go a little bit over with Q&A at the end, but usually the bulk of it is within the hour. If you could save your questions about stretching and things that you guys need help with for the end, that would be really helpful because then we just don't have to, go back through the chat and try and find our way. Um, I think that's everything. Let's get started. Somebody just said they will need to leave early. There'll be a recording of this so you could rewatch it. It'll be available through the 13th of this month, so you have some time. Okay, so without further ado, welcome to our webinar, Bendable Body webinar. We've been calling it, we've been alternating between life-changing and life-saving stretching focused on fascia. So that brings me to the first point that we want to cover, and that is fascia. And I'm going to talk a little bit about it. I've got an image I want to show you just to make it a little bit more conceptual. I think a lot of people now know what fascia is. When John and I first started teaching together about 13, 14 years ago, it wasn't as known and people didn't really know what we were talking about. But now mostly people do, especially if they found us. A lot of times it's because they've Googled fascia or they needed help with fascia. So that is the tissue that we are targeting here at Bendable Body, but not in isolation. In fact, you can't interface with your fascia without interfacing with your muscles. So this method gets your muscles working better, which is basically the byproduct of getting your fascia healthier. And that is a step that is horribly missing from every other exercise method out there. So, strength training, any kind of end range stretching, all of that bypasses the fascia just by virtue of the fact that they're not making the right movement that targets the fascia. And so when that happens, a lot gets left on the table when it comes to mobility and strength and getting your muscles to work better, taking the strain off your joints, and creating longevity. So let me just hop over to a screen share because that's going to, I think, help a lot of people. We like to see. So let me just share my screen. Share. There. Wow, that worked so smoothly. So this is actually a page from one of our courses, one of our first training courses, level one, and it's shows an image. This is what I really wanted to show you guys. I wonder if it'll let me spread it out. No, it won't. An image up close of fascia, which is this web-like substance in between the fat, the adipose, the skin, and a single muscle fiber. So just to explain how micro this image is, if you think of a muscle, like your bicep, for example, everybody knows what the bicep is. You can imagine it as this kind of like encased piece of meat. And within that encasement, there are multiple fibers, kind of like the example I always give because I think it's really apt. When you open a single orange peel, not a single orange peel, a single orange segment, and you see all the little orange segments or fibers inside that one slice, that one segment, muscles are a bit like that. And so each of those muscle fibers within a muscle, and that's what this is, a singular muscle fiber, is encased, surrounded, and wrapped in fascia. So fascia is this web-like tissue. It's called connective tissue. At its base, it's basically collagen and seawater. And it's like a three-dimensional web, is surrounding and penetrating every muscle in your body. It's more invasive than that in a positive way, not in a negative way. But that's just to connect you, it's called connective tissue, with how integral it is to muscles and how involved it is in muscles. And so here I can stop sharing my screen. Well, this image, you probably want to know what this is. This shows on a skeleton, I think it's like from Tom Myers, it's like a cadaver kind of reconstructed, a fascial plane in the body. Because in addition to this tissue being continuous and, throughout your whole body, it also exists in planes. And so this is kind of very demonstrates how the back of the body can get really impacted by unhealthy fascia because of this plane. You can see it goes down the entire back of the body. So let me just stop this screen share and you can see my whole face and kind of finish the point that I'm trying to make. So if you want, in short, super simple for your purposes, because probably you're here because you have knee pain or back pain or ankle pain or sciatic nerve pain, or, you just feel stiff, or, you find that you're able to do fewer and fewer of the exercise that you like and fewer and fewer of the activities that you like. Those are the basic reasons that people tend to find us. So if you want all of that to change, you have to address your fascia, because you can't address your muscles properly without addressing your fascia because of this relationship that they have. And so this is what bendable body does. The movements that we make, you won't find them in any other exercise method, not in yoga, not in Pilates, not in strength training, not in massage. There are many forms of stretching out there, like PNF and isometrics. They're all not doing what we're doing. And the key feature is the movement. And by movement, it's like the stretch movement, which will make sense when we start stretching, the individual exercise movement that you make to stretch any given muscle. It targets the fascia. It directly accesses it, and it actually removes the dense and hard aspect of it that accumulates in over time in the body, and like flushes it out of your body so that the muscle becomes free again. Because if you think about that analogy with the orange slice and that image that you just saw, if fascia becomes hard and dense, which it does, it happens from lack of movement, it happens from excessive movement, it happens from just general age and wear and tear, and it happens from trauma, injury. All of these things make fascia harder and denser and stiffer. I mean, it basically is what ages in us. Scar tissue, which most people are familiar with, is just very unhealthy fascia. So all of that binds muscles and makes it so they can't move. But of course, we keep moving around, right? We still want to make all of our movements and, hit the tennis and fold over and squat and whatever. But we end up doing that at the joint, which causes strain in the joint. We aren't even using our muscles. That's really the key thing here. We aren't even using them. And so you can go and strength train, right? Or passively stretch. But if you don't restructure that dense, hard fascia, the muscles are not going to get freed up. And you might gain a little bit of time and momentum here and there by getting something to work a little bit, but eventually you're going downhill. And, that is kind of the human story. And so when you start to address this tissue, we can age, I would say, the way that we're supposed to, as opposed to the way that we aren't supposed to. Doesn't have to be accelerated, in other words. Um, so that's kind of a bird's eye view of fascia. And John might want to add to it when he pops on. He's going to come on now and he's going to teach you how to stretch fascia. Like, what is this exercise movement that we're doing? And we're going to do some stretches. So I hope you're ready to stretch. Do you have like an area? Yoga mat's great. Bit of wall space is great. You don't need to change your clothes. You can kind of stretch almost in anything. Probably not heels. If you're wearing heels, you might want to get barefoot. So he's going to teach you guys some really basic and key stretches for, pretty common ailments that people have. And, explain the method to you in his way, and get you stretching, and talk about a few other key components of what comes with the bendable body method. And then I'll pop back on when he's done. So I'm going to hand it over to John. Okay.
Okay, let's get stretching here. We're going to go over the 4 pillars of a stretch that you probably already went over with some of the literature we sent you or some of the videos we sent you. put in the chat any joints you would like examples of, hip, shoulder, elbow, wrist, knee. And we're going to start with the knee. Uh, I'm sure a lot of you have maybe experienced knee pain or
We got a hip,
we got a hip,
we got an
um,
elbow,
got an elbow. All right, we'll start with the knee and we'll get to the hip and the elbow and then we'll take a vote.
neck and shoulders,
Uh,
another hip. Anyway, sorry, I'm being quiet now.
so let's stretch the back of our right leg, okay? And that's the central hamstring, right? Central hamstring. And it's the brain muscle group, which we'll talk about a little bit later. So balance yourself on a chair nearby. You don't have to, but it's really helpful if you do because we're resisting. We're not trying to balance ourselves. So put the right foot in front of your left foot, bend both knees comfortably. All right. And remember that the target muscle is the back of the right leg, central hamstring. Okay. So now we're in the start position. This is pillar one, right? And you always, whenever you're stretching, know the area of the muscle, the body you're stretching. That's really, really helpful. Now, pillar two, resist. Where's the resistance? Well, we're stretching the back of the right leg. So we want to pull that right heel back, down into the mat and back. And then you can feel the back of your leg engage. Keep the knee bent. Pillar three, keep the resistance and fold forward because that lengthens the back of the leg. And then pillar four, let it go and come back to the start. So let's stretch. Let's pull that right heel back, pull it back, pull it back, pull it back. Resist the entire time you're folding forward and then let it go. So I'm resisting right now in the start position. My hips are repositioning themselves. Well, I'm repositioning them because we're stretching the central hamstring and we're resisting. We're stretching the central hamstring and we're resisting as we fold forward and let it go. Okay? So let it go. Breathing suggestions, breathing in and out through our nose. Uh, exhale on the exertion. Can you feel all that force coming through your heel? Pull the heel back, pull, and you might feel some sensation in the back of your leg. A couple stretching tips for this particular stretch. You want to kind of level your pelvis, maybe think about tucking your tailbone in the back. You might lose sensation, but you'll increase the force. Resist, resist, resist. Relax on the way up. Let's do a few more. Stay with it. This is going to be a set of about, 12 or 15 repetitions. Let it go. As you fold forward, don't let your head drop. If your head drops, we lose resistive force. Resist, resist, resist. Just a couple more. Let it go. Stay with it. Stay with it. Okay. Okay. Now we just shake the leg out a little bit, right? Shake the leg. And now, as we stand there, just see what you notice between the two legs. Where does your attention go? My right foot feels soft. It is soft. Uh, the right knee is bending a little more for some reason. It's just bending. This feels a little stiff over here. Tight on the front of the left, we stretched, and this feels a little softer. Okay, what else? What else? Anything you notice? Okay, now I feel a little softer back here in the shoulder. Let's kick our right heel up to our butt. Kick our right heel up to our butt a few times. See how that feels. And then kick the left up. And see if you can feel the difference. We did a dozen, maybe 15 reps on this side, and you might feel it's accelerating a little quicker. Let us know. Now, what I'm aware of, the leg that we didn't stretch, when you kick it up, you can feel like there's something back in that hamstring that's in the way. And then the leg we stretched, it feels like a little cleaner. It's a little smoother back there. So we resisted the movement, okay? The muscle contracted, okay? That's really important when you're stretching. The muscles have to contract. but the fascia resists. Okay. And the fascia changed, the muscle did also because the fascia changed. All right. So now what we're going to do, central hamstring, by the way, is really good for knee pain and anything going on in the knee. Um, so let's do the lateral hamstring on the same leg. Okay, right leg, lateral hamstring, back outside of the leg. And we call this the bladder muscle group because it's associated with the health of the bladder. Okay, now I'm going to put my support on. You can put your support on either side. I'm just choosing right now to put it on the side that I'm stretching. Same thing, step your right foot in front of your left, but what we're going to do is turn that front foot out a little bit. Okay, turn the front leg out a little bit to focus on the lateral hamstring. Pull the heel back, tuck the tailbone, square your hips, resist, resist as you fold forward and let it go. Now, can you tell that's a different hamstring? That's like a different muscle in the back of the leg. Let it go. Tuck your tailbone, tuck your tailbone. Now, people have, problems like we got the hips, we got shoulders, we got elbows, we got knees we want to work on and fix and make feel better, and that's going to happen. And there's specific muscles. Resist, 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 let it go. Uh, that affect these areas of the body, these joints. But what we want to change or we want to be aware of is that the back of the body has the densest tissue on the body, specifically these three hamstrings on the back of the body. We have three on each leg. And then back up here in the back of the neck, trap, and shoulders here. Let it go. Let's keep going here. Again, we'll do about a dozen or more. Let it go. And reposition yourself as you don't have to keep your feet in the same position. You can move the chair around, you move your hips around. Because one thing that makes this really alive and really a great exercise is not just the movement itself, although it could simply be the movement itself. Go where your attention goes. So we got the lateral hamstring in our sight. We're resisting and we're stretching that. We know where we're resisting, pulling the heel back. And so, for instance, if you're feeling it too high up in the insertion, tuck your tailbone even more and bend your knee a little more, because then you get it more in the hamstring. I learned that over the years, right? If you resist in the beginning, your hips get pulled to the left. Well, don't let them go so far to the left. Counter that a little bit, like by an inch or two. And all where your attention goes, and you make those little adjustments, you're going to have less substitution and more resistive force. So you'll get a better result. Or you always want better results. We're putting the time in, we're working really hard. Feel how tough this tissue is? Feel how hard these movements are? Very, very simple movements. Hard tissue we're interfacing with. All right, whoa. Okay, check it out. We did 2 hamstrings on the back of the right leg. The foot's softer still. That's actually making this foot feel hard. It didn't get any harder, but can you feel that as this foot gets softer, this foot feels like, oh, it's even getting harder. As we get older, do our feet naturally get softer? They get harder. They get harder. Okay, and it's because the tissue in the legs get hard. And when we change the tissue, we change the bones in the feet and everything. So, okay, let's kick the heel up again. Whoa. More range, it's going up a little higher. Again, it's even faster than before. Now kick the other leg up, and it's feeling even slower. Can you feel that? Now, let's do a strength thing. That was just a movement thing. You actually can feel when you kick the leg up of the leg you stretch and in relation to this knee, and then you do it on the leg we didn't stretch. Can you feel there's a little less space in that knee? We're creating a little more space here. Now let's do a mini lunge. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to step our right foot forward just a little bit and let our leg push us back. Put the right foot forward and let the leg push you back, okay? See what that feels like. Now let's do the left and let the leg push you back. Let the leg push you back. Notice your torso is actually getting involved to help push you back. Where when you do the right leg, we stretch two hamstrings, the leg can actually push you back more easily. So there's more strength. Okay. This is the best form of strength training you can do because you generate a minimum of twice the force as a weightlifting movement. Okay. So what do we got? We got elbows,
Hips came up for
hips
sure.
came
Neck and
up,
shoulders, calves. Um, yeah, I would say I would do hip.
hip. Okay, hip. So the hip joint, we're going to do the medial hamstring and we're going to do a quad stretch. So let's check in first. So put your attention in your hip joint and then maybe turn the leg in and out. Okay, let it kind of go in. Just feel what's going on in that left hip.
And so
Or,
I want to just interrupt. If you don't have hip problems, still do all this
oh, yeah,
because it's going to get better. You're not going to, your hip is going to be better than it is now, even if it's not a problem.
even if you don't even have any awareness of the hip stiffness. So check out, we're going to work on the left leg and we're going to do things for the left hip joint. Okay. All right. So same thing, but we're going to turn the leg in. So we're going to take a little step forward, bend our knee, and turn that front leg in a little bit. Now, it doesn't have to go forward. It can go just a little out to the side and forward because for the medial hamstring, you want a little bit more width between your legs, not straight ahead like this. But again, reposition yourself wherever you think you need to be. But I'm just going to start you right here. So that left heel is going to pull back naturally toward this right leg. You can feel the back inside of your leg engaging, right? And that's because that's a target muscle. Resist in the start position. Tuck your tailbone. Keep resisting, and let it go. So this muscle group is the spleen pancreas muscle group. Let it go. Keep those ribs in your body. Tuck your tailbone. Resist, and let it go. Let it go. So I'm naturally going a little wider and I am bringing the foot a little further forward, kind of like the other stretch. And it's always in relation to the medial hamstring. So you're looking for the best leverage, the best position where you get the most force and the least substitution. Let it go. So now I know I'm hitting it because this quad is starting to burn because it's creating an oppositional force. Let it go. Breathing in and out through our nose. Stay with it. We're stretching the medial hamstring. Let it go. Stay. Now go any speed you want, any amount of resistance you want to create. But what's helpful is that if you're only going to go 30% resistance at the start, maintain the 30% resistance through the movement. If you're going to give it all you got, 80, 90, 100%, stay with that resistance all the way through. Think of it as like the opposite of weightlifting. We're making the opposite movement. But if you're lifting a 10-pound weight, it's 10 pounds the whole time, right? It doesn't get less as we get. So the same thing with resistance stretching. Whatever your range is, it's not about the range, it's about the resistance. Okay. Check it out. Foot feels, my attention goes to the arch. This is a great stretch for plantar fasciitis, the medial hamstring. I got a little lift in my arch. That's the first thing that happened when I checked in. Feels a little more open in the front, but we didn't stretch the front, we stretched the back. Now, if you can just turn your leg in, rotate it in, rotate it out, and you feel just a little more rotational aspect in the hip joint, okay? Little more space in the hip joint. That's really what we're missing. Like Sita said earlier, we don't have the space in the joints and they're grinding on themselves. We're losing cartilage and meniscus tissue. It's being disintegrated. because the fascia in between the joints is not allowing the muscles to contract and shorten. Okay. Now, let's do the quad. We'll do a standing quad stretch. So let's put that left foot forward, and turn the leg in. All right, just a little bit, ever so slightly. Start with your weight over kind of like your back foot a bit. We're going to press down this front foot forward, forward with a almost straight leg. Keep pushing the foot forward as you do this little lunge, and then relax and come back to the start. So let your foot soften, press the foot down and forward. You can feel your thigh engage. Keep pushing forward as you lunge forward, and then relax on the way back. Again, you want to have nice positioning where you have the most leverage. So you want to keep the ribs in your body, right? So I'm bringing my shoulders down on this one. And I'm repositioning my back foot a lot. I'm bringing it back even further. Let it go. So this muscle group is the front outside of the legs. This is the stomach muscle group. Let's keep going. We'll do about a dozen here. Starting to break a little sweat. Good resistance. Let it go. Sit back, start, create that resistance, push the foot forward, keep pushing the foot forward. Let it go. And notice the other leg's getting very tired, okay? The other leg, or when we get to the arms, the helper arm or the helper leg, they're doing a traditional strength movement and it's fatiguing the muscle. But, the legs were stretching, the muscles were stretching, feel great. All right. Okay. Okay, check it out. Feels full. That quad feels like it came alive a little bit. Blood flow, kind of feel the energy coming up the front of the body. See what you notice. The foot feels better. Uh, Kind of not as soft as the right foot, but kind of feels like it's in better position. Now let's check in. Now there's even more internal rotation and external rotation. Can you feel more space in the hip joint? Now, let's do that mini lunge. We did two completely different muscle groups on the left than we did the right. But let's put our left foot forward a little bit and push it back. Left foot forward and push it back. And it feels easier to do. It definitely feels easier to do. But let's go back to the right. Boom. This is a really good example. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but the one we stretched the central and lateral hamstring on the right leg versus now this feels better, but can you feel you have more strength on the side we stretched the central and lateral hamstring? I'd love to see some comments and see if that's what you notice. So that pairing, we call it a balancing pair. You'll learn that when you join the membership. And okay, I thought you had something to say.
Yeah, I was just going to say put yes or no in the chat if you notice what he's saying.
Yeah, yeah. So that's a great example of going after the densest tissue in the body, which in the lower leg starts with the lateral hamstring, then the central hamstring, and third would be the medial hamstring. Let's go to the upper body. So now we're going to do a stretch for shoulder. Okay, shoulder. Let's check in. So we'll make moves. We'll put one arm up, down, see how that feels. And let's just feel the other one. Then let's put our arms up about shoulder height and then bring the arms back. And just to the point where, you feel it stretching in the front, right? You feel the tightness in the front as we move our arms back. Okay? And you know what? Let's do for the strength on the shoulder, it's going to throw us out of the flow, but let's do a little push-up, 1 or 2 or 3 reps. We could do it off our knees, and the knees can be below our hips. We just want to do a few little push-ups to see how our shoulders feel, and you don't have to go down very far, right? Just, it's like a little check-in, okay? and just see how that feels, right? Now we're going to stretch the outside back of the shoulder, okay? The deltoid, a little bit of tricep, a little bit back up into the trap. Let's put our right arm up about shoulder height, okay? We're going to stretch the outside of this arm. Take your left hand and grab your elbow. All right, your fingers are on the outside. Start with your arm a little bit out to the side, and we're going to resist. So the right arm that we're stretching is going to move out and back. And our left hand's going to pull against that resistance. And then we're going to let it go and come back to the start. Okay. So kind of gently bend your knees so you can relax your knees a bit. Resist in the start. And always you want, not always, but every once in a while, you want to spend a moment in that start position, resisting, engaging, resisting, and then let it go. Because if you kind of catch the resistance and the movement at the same time, which is fine if you're doing a lot of reps, you lose that initiation and that really great contraction and engagement of the connective tissue, the fascia. Let it go. Resist in the start. You can relax your hand and wrist to the arm you're stretching. Breathing in and out through your nose. You want to keep those ribs in your body. On this one, we don't want the torso to be turning too much. We're just stretching the arm and shoulder. Let it go. Breathing in and out through our nose. Let it go. So, this is the large intestine muscle group we're stretching. The muscles and the organs that I'm mentioning are connected through a meridian. You can think of it as electrical current that's housed in fascia. Like Sita was saying earlier, those fascial planes. Okay. All right. Shake it out. All right, just check it out. Feel into your body. That's softer. That shoulder dropped a little bit. Neck feels a little looser there. So see what you feel. See what you feel.
Your
Now,
arm's longer.
my arm's longer. Yeah, just more relaxed. So also remember, you're always walking around with the arm you didn't stretch. So you can feel a little tightness there. You can feel it's a little jacked. You can feel, but maybe you didn't notice it. Like you don't have shoulder pain, but now you're like, well, geez, if it stays like that and I keep moving. So if you put your arm to move it up and then you do the other arm, I'm not looking at I can see myself in the camera. The arm comes closer to my head. So that's shortening better, right? Now let's put our arms up here. It feels nicer. It moves more easily, more fluid. This one's a little clunky, not firing that great. Now let's go back and put our arms shoulder height and bring the arms back. You have more range of motion. You can bring the right arm back further before you start feeling the pull in the chest. Can you feel that? And it's actually not internally rotating like it was before. Now, let's check out our push-up. A push-up is about the chest, and we didn't stretch the chest. We stretched the back, shoulder and back of the shoulder. Let's check it out. Let's, just do a couple push-ups off your knees and just feel into your shoulder. God, it's almost like there's no feeling there. There's space. Can you feel that? Just say yes or no in the chat. We just created space. You can feel the wonkiness or slightly out of alignment, tight, dense tissue on the shoulder we didn't stretch. And listen, we only did a dozen stretches on the back of this shoulder. Okay? So this is something, great exercise to wake up in the morning, do 15, 20 minutes of, do 5 minutes of. Something in the arms, something in the legs to get you going. It can be a full body practice. Now, what other joint we want to work on?
You could do neck or elbows.
Neck or elbows?
Both of those were asked for.
Let's do some elbows. So let's, just make our arms bend at the elbow and just feel what you feel there. Okay. And we're going to do a stretch for the chest and a stretch for the back of the shoulders, different than we just did. So let's do the right arm.
Hey, John, maybe take everyone through the four pillars because I think sometimes learning how to resist when you first stretch is hard.
Four pillars. The technique that we're doing, the unique movement that really it's unknown basically, except through Bob Cooley's work, and we trained with him and through our work. All right, we're going to stretch the chest and the bicep at the wall or in a doorway. So I'm going to face away from you for a moment here. And I'm going to go through the four pillars. So pillar one is the start position. Your hand's going to press into the wall about the height of your shoulder. Fingers pointing straight up. If you can turn your arm in, that's great. If not, be comfortable and let your fingers stay straight up. Legs want to bend in a nice, comfortable position. Okay. Elbow wants to bend, and your shoulder wants to be in front of your hand. Okay. So my feet are staggered. My body's on an angle facing my hand. I'm not starting like this. I'm starting like this. And this is the target muscle. Okay. Press into the wall and to the left with a bent elbow. You can use your left hand to feel your right chest muscle. Keep that contraction and resistance and just let your body move laterally to the left.
How do you know if you're resisting throughout the stretch?
Well, one way you know is if you put your hand on your right chest muscle, you press into the wall, you press into it, you can feel it contract. And then you start moving laterally, laterally, laterally. At one point, it might stop contracting. This gets soft. The stretch is over. You don't want to stretch without contraction, without resistance, because then you're going into the joint. So let's do about a dozen of these. So pillar one, the position of the start. Pillar two, press into the wall, press into the wall, press into the wall. Pillar three is continue to press into the wall and just move laterally. Typically, when we stretch this way, we open the chest up. No, that's not what we're doing. That's not what we're engaging the muscle. We're changing the fascia. And we keep the contraction. Sit your tailbone down. Keep those ribs in your body. Resist, resist, resist as you move from the right position to the left position to stretch your right chest. And as I'm going through the stretch set, I'm getting closer. My chest and arm are getting closer in the beginning. Get a better start position. And that is a range change, okay? Everyone thinks, oh, I'm tight or I'm stiff and my muscles won't lengthen. The job of the muscles is to shorten, contract and shorten. And when they start doing that, then essentially we get rid of all our pain. Okay, okay, okay. All right. Shake it out a little bit. Just see what you notice. Feel real relaxed in the chest. Now, if you move your arms, you might feel more space in the elbow. Like there's something here that's keeping it from shortening. Again, we got rid of something in the bicep and in the chest. And there's a little healthier movement in the elbow. But now we're going to do the balancing muscle, which is small intestine, one arm at a time. We're stretching the back outside of the arm and up top along the shoulder blade, not so much in the deltoid, but in this infraspinatus muscle. So let's put our right arm, bend our right arm at about 90 degrees, a little less actually. And your hand's going to be maybe a little further out than your elbow. We're going to grab the elbow. We're going to grab the elbow like we did before, okay? But the elbow's not up here, it's down here. And what we're going to do is we're going to pull, 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 pull up toward our face and then relax on the way down. Bend those knees, resist, resist, resist as we pull up, relax on the way down. Resist, 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 and relax on the way down. And again, relax your wrist and hand of the arm you're stretching. Breathing in and out through your nose. So my start is getting a little better. It's going back a little further, right? Because you always want to start, have your start position with the muscle you're stretching in the shortest possible position. And as you go through a set, it can become shorter and shorter. Let it go. Couple more. Tough tissue. Can you feel more resistance on the back of the arm than there is on the front? From those, well, that last stretch we did at the wall is heart. Improves the health of your heart. This one's small intestine. And they're balancing pairs. Couple more. Stay with it. Stay with it. All right. All right. Check it out. More chest, even though we stretch the back. Chest is more, I feel like the shoulder got a little wider. Arm is a little more externally rotated. So it feels better. Can you feel that? We literally, your body changes position because we are the shape we're in because of the state of our fascia. And when we do this resistance stretching, we change the fascia, we change the shape of our body. All right. Okay, now let's do the elbow. Let's go. Don't even feel it. Can you see that if you have a yes or no, let us know.
To what question? You got to finish the question.
Question. Space in the elbow of the arm we just stretched.
So here's an important point. What if you're hypermobile? What would be what you might feel if you're hypermobile? You're not looking to get more space.
Your so strength, checking in for strength would be really important. Uh, Positioning change. So if you are hypomobile and you did the same stretch as we just did, you should feel more relaxed in the shoulder. You should feel the movement in the elbow is healthier and different than the movement in the elbow. See, when you're hypermobile, the joints get really, the people who are hypermobile, they have more pain in their joints than the people who are stiff. Okay? You know, working with hundreds and thousands of people over the years. That really, but the same movements that we're doing will help stiff people, and the same movements will help hypermobile people. Okay, because it's all about the fascia in both scenarios. So that's elbow. Any other joints we want to just focus on?
I mean, you could go into the neck, or maybe you want to touch on something related to physiology and just, give a quick overview of the meridian associations before we move on.
Yeah. So that this is really important because this is who we are. Okay. We all have biceps, we all have quads, we all have hamstrings, we all have chest muscles, neck muscles. And we've been told forever that exercise is good for us. And all the exercise we do, the muscle contracts and moves us. The muscle contracts and moves us. The muscle contracts and moves us. And then the muscle gets tired. The fascia builds up because of the repetitive movements. Even if we do diverse movements and play all these different sports, eventually it gets to us. We're never addressing the fascia. So these movements, let's do another stretch while we're doing this. Let's do the adductors. We'll do two legs at once. This is a liver stretch, the inside of the thighs. A little wider than shoulder width. Let your feet turn out a little bit and bend your knees a touch. Okay, this is going to be a liver meridian. Now, we start in the standing position. Knees are bent. We're going to squeeze our feet together, but we're not going to focus on the heels. We want to focus on the balls of our feet and let them squeeze together as we fold forward and then relax on the way up. Because if we squeeze our heels together, we'll get more of the medial hamstring. And we're doing the adductors on the inside, not the back inside. So squeeze the balls of your feet together, tuck your tailbone, keep squeezing the balls of your feet together, and then relax as you come up. Breathing in and out through your nose. So this is the liver meridian. This is where the liver meridian traverses these muscles on the inside of our leg. And the muscles are connected to the organ, the liver, through a meridian, through an electrical current. So when you go into your kitchen and you turn the light switch on in your kitchen lights come on. Now, the lights and the switch are not the same. They're different apparatuses, but they're connected. through an electrical current, right? Keep resisting, tuck your tailbone, stay there, stay there. Notice we're breathing more in this stretch than all the others. Can anybody tell that? So all the 16 stretches have their own breathing pattern or unique way of breathing. Their muscles are all different, okay? So they would produce a different breathing pattern then in that way. Couple more, stay with it, stay with it. So we're improving the health of our liver right now. And I've seen it with the thymus and two other muscle groups and organs over the years through live blood cell analysis and tests that were done. And people's lungs improved. People's immune system, the white blood cells started activating and moving much, much faster. Okay. Shake that out. Just move around a little bit. And then what do you notice? Geez, relaxed. Space in the sacrum. Okay. So when we stretch that muscle group, we are directly improving the health of our liver. So like if you went back into your kitchen and you turn the light switch on, your bathroom light doesn't come on. The kitchen lights come on. Okay? So when we do this stretch, we're not improving the health of our liver. We're improving the health of our large intestine. And when we do the wall stretch in this position for the chest, we're improving the health of the heart and all the functions it has with the heart, the arterial blood flow. Large intestine regulates blood pressure, and that actually regulates venous blood flow. The liver has this huge function of detoxification and purification. Your appendix, which was the lat muscles, takes toxins out of the face and the brain and hyperoxygenate the brain. We use that a lot for head injuries. For people who are getting older, the small intestine, things like anemia, where there's protein malfunctions going on in the body, small intestine regulates. That's the small intestine job. And you do small intestine stretches, your body able to digest proteins better, and there won't be malformed proteins and weird shaped blood cells all over the place, red blood cells. So this is how our body functions, and you can improve the health of an organ and the tissue through these stretches. And it happens immediately. And the more you do, the better it gets. Okay. So we want you to be empowered because as you get older, not only to get, lighter, quicker, more flexible, stronger, better balanced and everything, but your physiology is going to improve dramatically. You're going to be able to digest as we get older. I don't know what the age group here is, but I know as you get older, you don't eat as much because you don't digest as well. You change the small intestine, the stomach, the pancreas, and the gallbladder, and these digestive organs, you digest much better. Okay, now it happens quick. Has anybody gotten heartburn? I'm sure everybody's gotten heartburn at some time. They eat something maybe too late or too much, or it's not the right food, or you can do these stomach stretches. I don't do them this way. I'm usually in bed. I usually eat too late, and sometimes I get heartburn. And I lay on my back because I'm lying down in bed, and I do these stomach stretches. And it's usually within 1 or 2 sets. I hold the back of my thigh, right? Target muscle. I'm not by the knee. I like to go in the middle of the thigh because where your hands are is going to be where you get the stretch in the quad. Then I bring the helper leg in front. The target leg's pushing up. I'm pushing the leg down. I'm resisting, and then I relax on the way up. Resist, resist. Now the quad is resisting, and it's stretching while it resists. And most of the time, okay, I think it was just like 2 weeks ago, I had to do 3 sets of 10 on each leg and 1 set of pancreas, and it went away. But that's the first time I ever had to do that many sets. I usually do 1 set, maybe 2 sets, and the stomach, boom, the heartburn is gone immediately. A couple sets of thymus stretches for the outside of the shoulders, and your body temperature goes up just like you get a fever. Your white blood cells start activating much, much faster. I've seen it on a live blood cell analysis before and after. It happened all within 10 minutes. So what I'm saying is these movements are enormously powerful for your body. And Another reason why they're great, I was saying exercise is good for you, exercise is good for you, exercise is good for you. When all you do is contract the muscle and shorten it, the muscle is an energy hog, okay? It needs energy to move, it needs energy, and then you're tired, you're fatigued, right? These movements engage the muscle, it contracts, and the fascia resists. And in most cases, it's mostly the fascia. The fascia, when you make these moves, creates energy, and the fascia stores energy. Okay? So you can do a 45-minute class with bendable body and feel like you can go out there and climb a mountain or go run a couple miles or play your tennis and like you're energized. I remember working with a tennis player once. He was afraid to even stretch before the match. Within 1 week, his teammate was asking him, "Hey, we're on court number five. We're on court number five." And he just said 5 more minutes. He wanted 5 more minutes of stretching to bring it right on the thing. It's really a phenomenal movement if you don't know about it. And this is your first time. And a lot of you kind of have been hanging around and trying it. But if you're ready to dive in, Sita and I are there
Well,
for you.
so John, before you stop, can you just one person, a couple people have asked this. Can you just do something for the neck, turning and looking behind?
Yes. Um, so we did the large intestine stretch. Now, we did it a while ago. We only did one set. And we'll do more, but I'm going to do it in a different way. If you turn your head to the right and then you turn your head to the left, can you turn your head to the right more than the left? I can. The large intestine along with the lung, and we'll do some lung and large intestine, and that helps with this. So it's a turning, there's a turning, it's not
Say, seeing behind me.
seeing behind you. Yeah,
Well, and
turn.
the neck in general.
Yeah, yeah. Now, again, all the muscles will help. So this is called kneeling twist. It's for the shoulder. We'll do the other side because we did this side first. So be on your left knee, right foot forward to stretch the back outside of your left shoulder. And what we're going to do is we're going to put our elbow on, or if you're able to get it to the outside of your leg, let your hand be in front here. Grab the back of your wrist with your right hand, and those two are going to resist each other. Your hand that you're stretching is going to go to the left, and then your right hand is going to pull, resist, 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 and then let it go and come back. Resist in the start, keep resisting, and then relax as you come back. Breathing in and out through your nose. Let it go. And then after a few reps, you can push the outside of your thigh in and get your arm a little further down. And that's just going to give you better leverage and allow you to resist a little more. Stay with it. Stay with it. Couple more. Okay, shake that arm out. And now let's do a few lungs on this side. So, what we're going to do, put the left hand. So, if you're kneeling on the mat and 12 o'clock is right in front of you here, we're going to put our left hand up around, 10 or 11. Okay? This is going to be the target muscle, chest and bicep. Place the hand down, get your body over your hand with a little bit of a bend in your elbow. Pull for resistance. Pull your left hand toward your right knee. It's not going to move. Pull it toward your right knee and sit back toward your right knee. And then relax as you come forward. You can use your right hand to balance you. You want to keep a bend in this leg. Arch your
Arm.
back up.
This arm.
Huh?
A bend in the arm.
A bend in the arm. What did I say?
Leg.
Bend in the leg. Yeah. Let it go. Resist, resist. And you could, if you're able to, put your hand on your chest and feel it resist and contract. Let it go. Breathing in and out through your nose. Stay with it. We'll do about a dozen. Keep those ribs up. You want to arch up. You don't want your ribs to come down like your lower rib cage. Couple more, just 3 or 4 here. Let it go. Okay. All right, shake it out. Now, turn your head. So we did the left side, and now it's a little further than the right that we did before. Well, we did the front too. Say yes if it improved your range of motion for looking. Um, Seeth is going to
Oh yeah, I'm gonna pump
take
in here,
over,
and then you'll be back and do some Q&A.
ask some questions. Yeah, great
And
stretching with you.
you'll have a chance to ask more about whatever injury or issue you have.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Okay, so we got a lot done. You learned how to stretch. You learned about the 4 pillars of a stretch. We covered a number of pretty common ailments. So now what I'm going to do is talk a little bit, not long, like under 10 minutes, about our membership program and the bonuses that you get with this special October enrollment and what the membership program is all about for those of you that might be interested in joining us now that you have had a chance to try stretching with us. So in order to do this, I'm going to share my screen again. And let me get over to the membership. Okay, so I am inside the membership right now on the screen, which you can hopefully see. It's called the Bendables. We are Bendable Body, but the membership is called the Bendables. So, what is the membership? It's an online program. It has over 400 on demand videos, recordings, which to some of you might immediately be like, oh my God, 400 videos I'm supposed to watch? No, you aren't. But what that means is that whatever your needs are, within this program, they are met. So, for example, if you can't get down on the ground, which some people can't when they first start, we have a standing and seated only section on the membership. In a way, the way that we've witnessed it over the years is there tend to be 3 primary pathways that people take as members from within the membership. Either they just kind of like to do their own thing on any given day. Maybe they work off of the stretch flows page and they pick a video that grabs them, like a full body flow or an upper body flow or a hamstring flow or a calf and shin flow, whatever it may be. Or maybe they do a live class recording, or maybe they use the search index and grab one of the terms that is bothering them on that given day, like maybe their glutes are feeling tight or their feet or their fingers, and all the stretches that are associated with fingers pop up when you click on the link. I think there are over 140 searchable terms. We've got the area of the body, the injury, emotional concerns, physiological concerns, cold hands and feet. We're getting into wintertime, the organ, the meridian. So maybe that's what they do. They kind of do their own thing. So that's one pathway. A second pathway that people love are 30-day programs. So this is a program within the membership. Everybody gets it as a member, and it's 30 days targeting a specific issue. So say, for example, hips, right? Some people have some hips, some shoulders, low back, neck. It's not totally 30 days. It's 4 weeks, 5 days a week, about 20 minutes a day. So it's really only 20 days. Sorry, 28. Is it 5 times 4 is 20? 20 days, but it's over a 28-day period. It's a month, basically. That's what we call them, 30 days. Anyway, we're splitting hairs here. It's a great program, though, if you have an issue and you want to go after it and you want to do it in a efficient and strategic way that really solves the problem. So this is a great feature inside the membership. A third pathway, and you can change. People kind of bounce around. Sometimes they want to do their own thing. Sometimes they want to do a 30-day program. Sometimes they want to do what we call the super year program. So this is wonderful. It's a full year, 52 weeks, 13 modules, and it is basically a whole body overhaul. It covers every major joint in the body. It targets the stiffest fascia in the body. It also addresses the full body. So, no matter what your symptom is, like if you have elbow pain, if you have plantar fasciitis, if you have digestive issues, it will get addressed in this year-long program, and your whole body will get addressed. So it's really a way to just like reset the whole thing back a few years if you spend 1 year doing this. So that's another pathway that you can take as a member. Another thing that we have for all members are weekly live classes, bonus live classes with John. There are 2 a week, and all the recordings get saved to the membership. We also have a monthly challenge for members, 3 days in a row live. This is all on Zoom. That is for members free. It's part of the membership. And again, the recordings get saved to the membership if you can't make it live. After these classes, he always sticks around and answers any questions that you may have. So, this membership, we have a lot of members. We've had many people stretching with us over the years, but it's just run by John and I. We are the co founders, we are the people that you're interfacing with. We have a huge amount of experience working with people. And so, when you ask a question, whether it's live or inside the membership, we're the ones answering you. And our objective is for you to get results, right? And so we know the obstacles that people face. We know the roadblocks. So we have the answer usually pretty fast. And I mean, we'll even jump on a call with you if it seems like it's going to help, because usually we can solve whatever the problem is pretty quick if you let us know. And so people do that at the live classes. Also, under any video on the site, this is an important page. I'll explain it in a moment. There's a place for you to leave a comment, and we check those every day. So you have direct access to us on a daily basis for any question that you may have. The tutorial section. So that's a really great category because it goes over the main concepts that you need to understand to stretch. The videos are short, they're not long. I think all of these combined are less than an hour. The length of the stretching videos inside the membership tend to be in the 15 to 20-minute range. We do have some longer ones when you're stretching the whole body, and some shorter ones, like if you're just doing a single stretch. You'll notice that this page is the single stretches. It's all the individual stretches that show up in the various videos on the membership. We call them by their organ association first. So that's great. Over time, it'll become second nature to you that when you're stretching your IT band, you're affecting your gallbladder. It'll just be how you understand it because you'll have been reading the names of all the stretches. Another perk, we have a great private Facebook group for members, and we have an incredible community of people that help one another, that pair up, that become friends, that share ideas. Some people that have been stretching for a while and have a lot of great feedback to share. So it's a really powerful group that way. Um, yeah, I mean, I think the things that really stand out about this program are, first of all, John and I and the access that you have to us. I would say that. Second of all, the effectiveness of the method and the way that it's delivered with such ease and simplicity inside the membership. You can find what you need super fast, very navigatable. And then I would guess the third thing I would say is the community. It's an incredible group of people if that's something that you want to take advantage of, people that are really, getting amazing results and want to support one another. So with this special October enrollment, you get some pretty awesome bonuses that you don't normally get if you join. The first is a free video and ebook for the shoulders. You get to keep it. It's a series that takes you through stretches that help with the shoulders and an accompanying ebook. Um, Oh yeah, here I can stop sharing my screen. Um, you also get a video that teaches you about running in a way that's safe, that won't injure you. We call them figure eights. It's a video tutorial because a lot of people stop running because pain and injury has shown up, and this is a way to start up again. We also give you a ebook on the Meridian Channel Association, which is really popular for people understanding that organ physiological relationship between stretching and the Meridian channels. So you've got an ebook on that. So it's a really fabulous group of bonuses that you get when you sign up during this special October enrollment, and that is through Monday, the 13th. So you have until Monday to join the membership and get these extra bonuses. The price, you need to know the price. So it's $45 a month. It's auto renew. So you keep paying month to month. You have continual access to the content. You stop paying if you cancel, or $450 for a year. The benefit to the year is you save $90. You get 2 months free. But with both payment plans, you get all the content. It all comes with everything. I don't think I'm forgetting anything. We're happy to take any questions and answers. I'm going to put the link to joining the membership inside the chat right now. You can grab it and join. And we're going to stick around and answer questions for those of you that have them. So please go ahead and put those in the chat. Any questions or specific concerns, any questions about the membership, any questions about injuries or areas of the body, anything about the meridian channels, anything that you want to know, please put that in the chat right now. We did a bunch of stretches. We did stuff for the shoulders. We did things for the knees, the hips, the neck, the elbows. We covered a number of areas. Stuff isn't, it's not coming through, I think. Hold on one second. Anybody got any? Here we go. Christine. John, you want to pop in here and kind of take over the Q&A, or you want me to stay here? Apparently, yeah, go ahead. You got it? Okay, so this is Christine. Apparently, I injured my lower back. I could even feel it while doing these exercises. Can I fix an injured lower back? It changed my life, made my whole life stiff and painful. Yes. So, you want to take it, or you want me to start? So that's what we do, Christine, is we solve injuries and pain. So 100%. We find that pain in the lower back is usually coming from some sort of a compression in the spine, right? The discs start to compress on one another and it causes pain and stiffness. And that happens, actually, believe it or not, from the hamstrings and the orientation of the pelvis. So if you came to us and said, what stretches should I do for low back pain? We are going to recommend that you stretch your hamstrings on a regular basis using resistance to restructure that fascia in the back of your legs, get the hamstrings working better, and take the stress out of your back. And I'll let John pop in.
Absolutely. Uh, oops.
Why don't you just come over here?
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to have him pop in.
All right. Yeah, no, absolutely. Hamstrings are really important. And like we said, that's the densest tissue in the body. Low back pain across the belt line, gallbladder and liver help. Gallbladder, the IT band stretches. Corresponding muscle groups in the upper body, if you're addressing the lower body, are really important too, because it really is a full body approach. The fascia, it shapes us. And Tom Myers, we mentioned earlier, he wrote a book called Anatomy Trains, and he went down to one of the Southwestern universities in the spring for years with another gentleman, and dissected cadavers. And there's pictures of these, and you should see these fascial bands that run through all of us. The tissue. It's essentially you like we're basically like superheroes that haven't made these movements to develop ourselves in that way. If all the fascia in our body, the connective tissue, this were to leave, all the rest of the tissue, we would be like a puddle on the floor. But if all the bones and muscles and skin and everything that was to disappear, you would still see our shape and our form and everything because we are the health of our fascia. And you want to change the densest tissue in your body. So generally, I said the bladder and then the thymus up here. That's general. But we have specific injuries maybe throughout the course of our life that we want to address. Maybe there's scar tissue in the chest or the hip flexors or from an accident or a trauma. So it's really a really amazing movement to make that you can keep making and you only get better and better and better, where everything else you do, the repetitive movement turns into an injury. Um, so, but yeah, no,
I forgot a bonus. There's a fourth bonus that comes with this enrollment that I completely forgot about. It's a video for hips. So if you decide to
mm,
join now in October, you get the shoulder series, the hip video, the Meridian ebook, and the running tutorial. It's pretty loaded. Sorry guys, I forgot that.
oh, that's cool. Those 30-day programs that Sita mentioned, talking about the community we have, somebody asked about neuropathy. Now we have a search engine, and if you put in neuropathy, these videos will come up that help. Central hamstring brain is big, and the lateral hamstring. But the low back 30-day, someone asked about neuropathy, and another member said, "Oh, I'm doing the low back 30-day program for the second time, and my neuropathy is gone." Neuropathy is kind of runs kind of deep. Like plantar fasciitis is a pretty quick fix. Sciatica is fairly quick fix, but depending on what it is. So the community is giving feedback. We have a woman who's in her mid 70s who has scoliosis, and the spine has a significant curvature. And if 5, 6 months ago, she went back to her doctor, and the doctor said, your spine is straightening out. He's never seen that before. And she's self-stretching. She's been a member for a few years. And, they're getting rid of the shoulder pain, the back pain. I came to this with back pain, but I didn't come to this to fix anything except stiffness. I didn't think, chiropractic, I just was just hoping to get a little less stiff. And my digestion improved. Bowel movements were amazing for the first time in my life. I got rid of my allergies, including the cat allergies. That took the longest. Um,
What about back pain?
oh, disappeared.
Someone's asking, Sharon, can any stretches help with disc disease in the cervical spine, constant discomfort, tenderness, back, left side of the neck, below the skull?
Well, changing the dense tissue for in the spine, the hamstrings regulate the health of your spine. So you can create space between your discs. We've seen that people have had X-rays done, before and after, not just one session, but over a period of time. Um, Regenerating bone, don't know about that. But if relief from the pain and discomfort, yes. Like like just like we created space to the extent that we did with 1 or 2 sets for the elbow, for the shoulder, for the knee or the hip. Each disc in the spine will start to separate because if the degeneration, really coming from some type of mineral deficiency, but a lot of the time it's compression. The discs, the cartilage between the disc and meniscus, they just disintegrate. They get crushed. And I'll just example this one example of most people's pelvis, especially in the Western cultures, are pitched forward. Okay. So if that's the case, and mine's pitched forward too, it's just I'm exaggerating a little bit. It's pushing you up in the back. So your spine starts to compress from down low all the way up. Now, what I didn't demonstrate, but it's on the videos in the membership, we did a demo. If you change the hamstrings and they're able to shorten, so when we get old, people get old, do they start going, oh my God, I can't stand getting old? Or do they do this? They do this. So the back of the body gets really, really hard with dense fascia. So the muscles don't shorten. So the hamstrings don't shorten. So if they don't shorten, you get that. And the compression, it goes right up into the spine and compresses the spine and then starts to twist the spine. And then the discs start to degenerate and there's a lot of pain. It goes right up to the neck, shoulders. And so if you change your hamstrings, your pelvis starts to extend. You get space in your spine and your neck and shoulders all work better.
Awesome. That was a great answer. Any other questions before we close up, you guys? It's 7:44, so we're just about 15 minutes over. So not too bad. But we do want to make sure that we get all questions answered before we say goodnight. It was really great stretching with you and teaching you about the method. And John and I are hopeful that you'll continue to stretch and use these tools that we've offered you. We have a lot of free content. And of course, we'd love to see you join us inside the membership and go deep and, really make a lasting change for yourself.
Great stretching with everybody. Hope to see you in the membership.
Yeah, have
Thanks
a
for
good night.
joining
And
us.
and if a number of you have asked, will this recording be shared? It will. It's going to go out tomorrow morning. I just need to get it uploaded. So yeah, we're happy to work with you, and please feel free to send an email with any questions if they come up. Thank you for being here. Good night.
Have a great night.
Good night.